तौ संतोषयता सन्तौ श्रीलरूपसनातनौ दाक्षिणात्येन भट्टेन पुनरेतद्विविच्यते तस्याद्यं ग्रन्थनालेकं क्रान्तव्युत्क्रान्तखण्डितं पर्यालोच्यात पर्यायं कृत्वा लिखति जीवकः. Hare Krishna. Thank you. You like, na? You like Bhakti Sandarbha? You like Bhagavata? Yes. Our Meghavarna is... Mataji, you know Meghavarna? You don't know, na? इधर आओ, एक बार दिखाता हूँ. He is my student, new student, for 1 year. This is Meghavarna. You know he...
I know Prabhuji, Jai Damodar Prabhu's son.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I know.
He is scholar actually. He is Sanskrit grammarian.
Oh, Hari Bol. Future IBM teacher.
Oh, ये IBM नहीं, पूरा दुनिया का जगत गुरु.
Right. He will establish branches throughout the world.
लेकिन तोला నల్ల బ్రాహ్మణుడు కొంచెం జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి.
ఎందుకని ప్రభుజీ?
నల్ల బ్రాహ్మణుడు నమ్మకూడదు.
ఫస్ట్ టైం వింటున్నాను ప్రభుజీ, నాకు తెలియదు ఏంటి.
నల్ల బ్రాహ్మణుల్ని నమ్మకూడదు.
అవునా, ఎలా ప్రభుజీ?
అంతే, అది నియమం. ఓకే మాది. హరే కృష్ణ.
ధన్యవాద ప్రణాం.
ప్రణాం. So Mataji was here only for last 2 years. Before you people come, she was here, and 2 years she learned every day here on site. He's not there, but we're there in another place. At that she was also with me, with all of us. In the first batch, Matajis also were there. 3 Matajis and remaining Prabhujis. And in this batch, we didn't take any Mataji. And in future, we will not take. A Mataji will take the class. She can have... If she comes, then we'll create Mataji's wing. आ गया पंडित जी. पंडितुडु ब्राह्मणुडु दोनों both are friends. तुम तो वैष्णव हो भाई, छोटा वैष्णव. जब के समय सोते हैं. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing what is our goal. So next, other glory of the bhakti. So what we want to establish? Bhakti is nirguna. So nirgunatvam, this quality we want to establish. That is the goal actually. So before going to establish that, we discussed Bhagavadarpita karma. So karma offered to the Lord is saguna. That is as explained actually. Sagunatvam. And Kaivalya Gnanam is Satvikam. Brahma Gnanam, Atma Gnanam, all are Satvikam. Vaikalpika Gnanam will be the Rajasam. Prakruta Gnanam is Tamasam. And Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. This we discussed. Then after that, Kaivalya Gnanam, how it is Satvikam, that is explained. And Bhagavad Gnanasya tu, Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna, because Bhagavad Gnanam is seen in natural in the people who are in Sattva Guna. Example, demigods. Demigods in Sattva Guna, and in them, this Bhagavad Gnanam, is it coming from that Sattva Guna? No. And that means Sattva Guna is not the cause for the, yes, Sattva Guna is not cause for the Bhagavad Gnanam. And similarly, Akshay Hari Prabhu, boliye, tell.
You complete your introduction, then I'll ask question, Prabhu.
Okay. So Bhagavad Gnanam is not Sattvika because it is not seen that coming due to Sattva Guna. Similarly, so Bhagavad Gnanam is not disqualified because of Rajas and Tamas. That means one is not disqualified being situated in the Rajas and Tamas. Example is Vrutrasur. He is in his Asura by nature. He is in the Rajoguna, but that Rajoguna is not a disqualification for getting the Bhagavad Gnanam. So that's why from these two examples we are understanding Bhagavad Gnanam is not, that means is not the due to Sattva or Rajoguna is not going to stop it. So friends, both are friends. So that's why from this we are understanding Bhagavad Gnanam is completely is different from these two. And then why, from where it is coming? So in the case of Vrutrasur, we are seeing the Bhagavad Gnanam that is not due to modes, then that is due to what? That is because of his association in his previous life with devotee, that is Narada. Because of association with the Narada, that's why he got. Okay. So Sri Naradadi Sangha Varnanaya. So that we understood. So that's why from this we are understanding. So devotees association is Nirguna. And Tulayama Lavena Pi na Swargam na Punarbhavam Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya Martyanam Kimutasishaha. From this also we are understanding. This association with the devotees is not an ordinary thing. Even not associating the devotees, associating the people who associated devotees. So it's great actually. This is the great thing, this association also. And this is also Mahanirguna, because it is superior to the moksha also. Moksha means is liberation. Liberation means Brahmananda. So it is superior to the moksha, that means liberation, that means Brahman. Brahman itself Nirguna, and it is superior to that. That's why it is Parama Nirguna. So this is the point. It is Parama Nirguna. So Saptamasya Prathamecha. So in the 7th canto, 1st chapter. How many cantos are there in Bhagavatam? Tell me. 12. Achha. So Saptamasya Prathame. In the 7th canto, 1st sloka, what is saying? Sama Priya Suhrut Brahman Ityadau. So Sagune Devado Tasya Kripa Vastavi na Bhavati. Kintu Srimat Prahladadishu Eva Iti Pratipadana. So from 7:1:1, we are understanding that Lord's mercy is not. So that means we are seeing that Parikshit Maharaj is asking, these demigods are getting the favor of the Lord, and Lord is doing the injustice because he is killing the enemies of demigods. And he's like that, he's favoring these demigods. So why he is doing like that? But he should be equal to everyone. He should be dear to everyone. He should be well-wisher of everyone. So this kind of question is raised. Then from that whole discussion, from that seventh canto, we are understanding that he is not having the real krupa in the demigods. Tasya krupa vastavi na bhavati. So his krupa in demigods is not real. Kintu Sri Prahladadishu eva. But his real krupa is there in whom? Is there in the Prahlad Maharaj. So like that, it is established in that canto. So in that seventh canto. So from this Mahatam Nirgunatva Abhivektya Tasangasyapi Nirgunatvam Avyaktam. So from this whole episode of the seventh canto, if you see, seventh canto starts like that only. So the Parikshit Maharaj asks question, why he is partial to the demigods, and then finally established that. So his krupa to the Prahlad Maharaj is real. So, and his whatever krupa he is having on the demigods, so for the sake of maintenance, so he is the maintainer also, na? Krishna is maintainer also, Vishnu. So for that he has to support the demigods. Otherwise, whole creation will be disturbed. So that's why that krupa is there in the demigods is not the real krupa. So he is assisting in the assisting demigods to fulfill the maintenance of universe. And that is it's not the real krupa actually. That is just assisting mode of goodness, because he is in charge of the mode of goodness, so that maintenance activity can be done. But his real krupa is there in whom? In Prahlad Maharaj. But Prahlad Maharaj is a demon. He belongs to the which kula? He is a Daitya. So, but still his krupa is there. So that means, counter example we are seeing. That means here his krupa for the demigods is not real. That is established. And on the top of that, so what is the question of Parikshit? Why he is inimical to the, is partial to the demigods and not partial to the, that means not having helping to the demons. But here Narada Muni is giving example of Prahlad Maharaj. Who is he is, who, where? So Prahlad Maharaj is from the Asura family. So, but he is Kula, na? Kula based question is asked. Based upon caste, he is asking question. Parikshit. So, but he is, so here clearly we are seeing that Lord is not dealing with the caste actually. So, whoever, wherever devotion is possible, anywhere, even a demon also can become devotee. So his caste or otherwise his work will not stop him to become devotee. So that's why whoever is devotee, and he is so getting the krupa of the Lord. So that's why his krupa to the Prahlad Maharaj is real. And that's why devotees are nirguna. Mahatam. So Pratipadana Mahatam Nirgunatva Abhivektya. Mahatam, that means devotees. Devotees are nirguna. Prahlad Maharaj is not asura actually. Since he is a devotee, he is a nirguna, and that's why Lord's krupa in him is real. So Mahatam Nirgunata Abhivektya Tatsangasyapi. And anyone is associating him, and that sangha, that means that association, is also nirguna. So Lord is giving his mercy due to Prahlad Maharaj is Asura. That's why he's giving mercy. And Lord is there any based upon the he's Asura or he's demigod? Is he seeing that? No. He is Nirgunaha. That means he's giving his Mahatang Krupa means because he is beyond the modes. That's why he's giving his Krupa. So that is establishing his Nirgunatvam of the Prahlad Maharaj. He is not belonging to any Asura family or anything. That is only external actually. So, but actually he is beyond modes. And associating the devotees also beyond modes. So till now we discussed Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. Yes? What is the sloka number? So 11, 25, 24. 11, 25, 24. Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna, it said. Okay. Then after one more point, what we said? Association of the devotees is also Nirguna. Association of devotees is also Nirguna. Okay, next. Devotee is also Nirguna. How you establish association is Nirguna? Association is Nirguna because so we are seeing the examples of demigods and Vritrasur. From this, we are seeing the devotion in the Vritrasur. So that is due to, that means we are seeing the devotion in the Vritrasur. That is due to what? That is due to his association with the Narayana, with the Narada. And that's why, and by the Narada's association, that he became that means he got the bhakti. That means Bhagavad Gnanam. That is bhakti. So which is Nirguna that he got. That is coming from where? That is coming from the association. That's why it is proving the association is Nirguna. So, and also we are saying that association is not only Nirguna, that person who is giving association, he is also Nirguna. Example, we have seen the Prahlad Maharaj. Three things we did here. First, Bhagavad Gnana is Nirguna, we said directly. Then after that, we said the association is also Nirguna. For that, we took the demigod example and Vritrasura example. So then after that, so that association is becoming Nirguna because that person who is giving association, he is Nirguna. That we established by the Prahlad Maharaj. That means in the 7th canto, so Prahlad Maharaj is getting the real mercy, not the demigods. So from that, why he's getting? Because of his caste and creed? No. Because of he is being a devotee, because he is beyond the modes. That's why he's getting. That is established in 7th canto. We are not establishing here much. But Prahlad Maharaj is Nirguna and he got the real Krupa that we have seen in the 7th canto. Here it is not elaborately explained. So, but you should take. Okay, got it this? So next, Tata Bhakte api guna nirdunanantaram cha anuvrittihi sriyate. So yad uktam uddvam prati Sri Bhagavata. Bhakte api guna sangha nirdunanantaram cha anuvrittihi. Yes, Akshay Haripu.
Hare Krishna Bhutani Prabhu.
Yeah.
Oh, I have two questions. The first question is, how can we say the second question first? So, like we have given the example of Vritrasur. The Vritrasur, we assume that he is in mode of passion and ignorance, and we established that he had a Bhagavad Gyanam, and Bhagavad Gyanam means it cannot be obstructed by the Tamogun and Rajagun, and Satugun is not the cause of Bhagavad Gyanam.
Yes.
And that previous life. So can we say from the example of Nalkupir and Manikirib also, they were in Tamogun?
Yes. They were offenders. They are demigods, but they were offenders. They are demigods, no? Actually, Sattva-guna. Of course, the activity is wrong, but so they comes under the category of the.
When they were in tree form, they were in Tamogun, and they had a Bhagavad Gita.
In tree form?
Yeah.
Yeah, after that they got the they are relieved by the Lord's mercy from that tree form. So that's ultimate cause is association with the Narada Muni.
Yeah, that is previous life association. That is the cause of devotion, and they were in Tamogun, and that is not Bhagavad Gita is not affected by Tamogun.
Okay.
So my question is that like Prahlad Maharaj is beyond guna, as we established. So Vritrasura also is beyond gunas.
Vritrasura is also beyond gunas. So the point is he is asura, na, actually. So he is asura. Asura means he is having the. So why you are calling asura? So because his form, you can see he is a Brahmana's son. He's coming from the Yajna. But he is asura. His body, his ferociousness, and his giganticness. These are all so qualities of the asura actually, and that's why he's called as asura. And his asura means he's in the mode of passion and ignorance. And Prahlad Maharaj is also, so by birth what? He is asura only. By birth he is asura, but he is purified. He is purified by the bhakti. Bhakti can purify. The Saguna Nirdhunanam. It purifies all the gunas and it will bring all the auspicious qualities. So, but we consider is what? So, someone is coming from the mango tree, he's mango. So, something is coming from mango tree or mango seed, something is coming, it will be the mango tree only, na, which is coming from mango seed. So,
Yes.
like that, by, so he is coming from the Hiranyakashipu and Kayadu. So he is belonging to the Asura family. But since association of the Narada Muni in the womb itself, so he is transformed actually. He is beyond the modes. So similarly in the case of Vritrasura also. So he is by when Yajna he appeared as a in the form of Asura. Not in a beautiful form. He is having the, so that's why, but he is a devotee because his devotional samskaras are carried out from the Chitraketu's life, and he is a devotee.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So that's why in this society also, even a ferocious person who is very much killing the animals and Jagai Madai or many things actually. So who are very ferocious, ghastly activities they are doing, demonic activities, they also can become devotees. That means in their heart, whatever Rajoguna is there, that is not going to stop the manifestation of bhakti. Because bhakti is not coming from the Rajoguna. Bhakti is coming from the directly association. And that's why in their heart, bhakti is transplanted through the association. And this bhakti is nothing but Bhagavad Gnanam. So Bhagavad Gnanam is given to him. That is transcendental, that is beyond modes. And so it is coming, it is nirguna. It is coming from the association only. That's why this association is also nirguna. And also we are saying the person who is giving this association, he is also nirguna. That is the point actually. That is the point we are understanding. Okay. Hmm? No, we want to establish Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna. Bhagavad association, lots of devotees association is nirguna, devotees are nirguna. That's our main goal is Bhakti is nirguna, we want to establish. So how bhakti is nirguna? Because bhakti is coming from the association. That is also nirguna. That means, and also devotee, why that association is nirguna? Because devotees are nirguna. So by the bhakti, what is happening? Let us take this is heart. In the heart, there are the rajas and tamas. So, and also sattva. By doing the bhakti, what is going to happen? All these gunas are cleaned. Nirdhunanam. Where is your brother? Huh? So, tasmad deham imam labba gnana vignana sambhavam gunasangam vinurdhuya mam bhajantu vichakshanaha. So, what is happening? So, by cleaning, when you do bhakti, these gunas are clean, then it is remaining in what? It's not remaining, it is remaining with, it is becoming nirguna. It is becoming beyond the modes. His heart is becoming beyond the modes. So that means sada rajastamo bhavaha kamalobha chetayatairana viddam stitam sattve prasidhati. Completely becoming so purely, so Vishuddha Sattvam. Heart is becoming Vishuddha Sattva. Tasmat deham imam. You can see the translation of this. तस्माद्देहमिमं लब्ध्वा ज्ञानविज्ञानसम्भवं गुणसङ्गं विनिर्धूय मां bhajantu vichakshanaah. So that means tasmat deham imam labdva. After getting the human form of life, so which allows one to develop knowledge and realization. Jnana vijnana sambhavam. It means in this human form of life, you are able to get the so knowledge and also realization. So guna sangam vinardhuya mam bhajantu vichakshana. So by bhakti, you are going to get this. That means gnana vijnana in this human form of life. So that's why those who are intelligent should free themselves from all contamination of the gunas and worship me. That's why vichakshana. That means intelligent people, what they should do? They should free themselves from the gunas and worship me. So Parameshwara Gnanasya Nairgunya Hetutvena Nirgunatvoktistu Lakshanamaya Kashta Kalpana. That means human beings, what they should do? They should get the gnana and vijnana of the Lord. That means Bhagavad Gnanam, knowledge about the Lord, and also realization. So it is possible by what? By the bhakti. Because bhakti only can give the Bhagavad Gnanam and Bhagavad Vijnanam also. And so one has to what? Transcend modes. By doing the bhakti, one has to transcend modes, and so he has to do only so bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. This is the successful of life. Human beings, what they should do? They should come out from the gunas by doing the bhakti and purifying their heart and always in the devotion. Okay. Here, Parameshwara Gnanasya Nairgunya Hetutvena Nirgunatwoktistu Lakshanamaya Kashtakalpana. Tada Kaivalya Gnanasyapi. So Nairgunya Hetutvad Avaishishyena Udaharana Beda Pravrittischa Syat. So here what is the important point is said. Can we say Bhagavad Gnanam Bhagavad Gnanam is coming from what? From the association. Okay. This Bhagavad Gnanam. Whatever is coming, that means association gives rise to bhakti, means Bhagavad Gnanam. From association, you will be getting the bhakti, and by doing this bhakti, you will be getting the Bhagavad Gnanam. Gnanam and also Vijnanam. Bhagavad Gnanam, Vijnana, everything also can always call as bhakti only. No problem, actually. It is not a difference. So, association. And who is giving association? Devotee. These are the things. Here, from the 11.25.24, we established Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. Okay. And this Bhagavad Gnanam is caused by the bhakti, and that is caused by the what? Association. And that's why it is also Nirguna is coming. It should be Nirguna. And devotee is also Nirguna. Devotee is also Nirguna. We did this. Here, whenever we do bhakti, what it is doing in the heart? It is cleaning, it's removing the all gunas, sattva and rajas. All gunas are removed. Okay. And it is that bhakti, if you do, gunas are removed from the heart. That means it's completely transcendental actually. Heart is transcending from the modes. It is becoming purely Vishuddha Sattvam. So there, one is getting the Bhagavad Gnanam. Gnanam and Vijnanam. Then in that situation, he's getting the Gnana and Vijnana. Here, so this Gnana and Vijnana are directly coming from the Bhakti. So they are manifesting after what? After cleaning all the modes. That means clearly we are understanding here that so Gnana and Vijnana are not the modes, because this Bhakti is cleaning out. Then after that Bhakti is giving the Gnana and Vijnana. So these are after cleaning of the everything of all the modes, it is manifesting. That's why it is what is Nirguna only. This is one way of saying things. So in the sloka, if you see what is said here, Tasma Gunasanga Vinurdhuya. So Vinurdhuya, that means by Bhakti, Gunasangam Vinurdhuya. That means gunas are cleaned. So cleaned by the Bhakti. And then one will be situated in the Gnana Vijnana, and he should worship the Lord. He should continue to worship the Lord. By the Bhakti only, he started Bhakti, and gunas are cleaned, and Gnana Vijnana is manifesting there. And with that Gnana Vijnana, once again, he is continuing the Bhakti only. So from this, clearly we are understanding Gnana Vijnana is Nirguna, because they are after cleaning of all the gunas that is manifesting. And this is the actual scene. Here, can you say Bhagavad Gnanam? That means Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. Can you say Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna? Try to hear. Huh? Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. Based upon that, it is the cause for the Nirgunat Hetutvena. It is the cause for the experience of Bhagavan. It is a cause for the experience of the Bhagavan. Bhagavad Gnanam is the cause for the experience of the Bhagavan. In that case, this Bhagavan is Nirguna. Bhagavan is Nirguna. That we already established in the Bhagavad Sandarbha. Bhagavan is Nirguna. And this Bhagavan, experiencing of the Bhagavan is happening. That means this Bhagavad Gnanam is a cause to experience the Bhagavan who is Nirguna, and being the cause for Bhagavad Gnanam is being the cause for experiencing the Nirguna Vastu. So in that way he is Nirguna, if you say. Due to that it is saying Nirguna, there is a problem is coming. Why you are saying Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna? Because it is a cause for the experiencing of the Nirguna. Bhagavan who is a Nirguna. So in that same way, if you use that logic, based upon that logic, if you establish Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna, that means you are not saying directly Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna, but you are saying Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna because it is cause for the experiencing the Nirguna Vastu. That's why it is Nirguna, if you say. You're understanding what I'm saying? Then in that way, if you say there is a problem is coming. Like example, Kaivalya Gnanam is there. Who is always yawning? You? You are feeling so much. You are not sleeping night time. You are wasting your time in the mobiles, maybe, or something. So, Kaivalya Gnanam. By the Kaivalya Gnana, what is happening? One is experiencing the what? Brahman. Yes. Kaivalya Gnanam, Brahma Gnanam is cause for what? Or Kaivalya Gnanam is? So Brahman is in Brahma Gnanam, and this is Atma Gnanam. And that means knowledge about the Brahman is Brahma Gnanam, knowledge about the Atma is Atma Gnanam, and the knowledge which says that both are one, that is known as Kaivalya Gnanam. Okay? Kaivalya Gnanam. Kaivalya Gnanam is cause for what? Experiencing the Brahman. And Brahman is Nirguna or not? Brahman is Nirguna, definitely. Is beyond modes or not Brahman? Brahman is Nirguna. So if you say, So the one which is cause for the nirguna, that's why it is nirguna. If you say, then Kaivalya Gnanam also should become what? Nirguna. So, but we established Kaivalya Gnanam is what? So, that's why can we use this logic? Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna since it is cause for the experiencing the Bhagavan. Can you say like this? No. That is the point actually. Then what you should take? That means this is Lakshanartha. Lakshana, that means, so instead of saying directly Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna, so through in this way, if you say Bhagavad Gnanam is cause for the Bhagavan, experiencing the Bhagavan, where Bhagavan is nirguna, in that way, that's why Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna, if you say, so that is Lakshanartha and it will break the rule here. That's the point. Yes. Yeah. There also Lakshana you are saying. So association of devotees is nirguna, we said. Yes. How we said association of nirguna is no, based upon association we proved nirguna, devotees are nirguna. We took the Urtrasra example and demigods example. Based upon this we proved actually. Association of the devotees nirguna. Why we are saying association of the devotees is nirguna? How we said the association of devotees is nirguna? Tell me. Anyone? So Akshay, Hari, you tell me.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you said about how Vritrasura got the association of Narad Muni.
Yeah.
By saying that you established that he got the association.
We have how many modes? 3 modes. So you go elimination process. Sattva-guna is the cause. Sattva-guna is the cause for the Bhagavad Gnanam. No, no. Sattva-guna is not the cause for the Bhagavad Gnanam. Okay. So because demigods in the Sattva-guna, are they naturally getting the knowledge about the Bhagavan by that Sattva-guna? We are not seeing many demigods who are not knowing the Lord and not doing any devotion, nothing. That means they don't have any Bhagavad Gnana. That means, but they are still in the Sattva-guna. That means what? Sattva-guna is not producing any Bhagavad Gnana. Okay, this is clear. That means we have 3 modes. Sattva-guna is out. And actually, Rajo and Tamoguna, Sattva-guna is not producing means how Rajoguna and Tamoguna will produce. They will stop only actually. And really how Sattva-guna is not doing some, because Sattva Sanjayate Gnanam. Gnana all the time comes from the Sattva-guna. And in the case of Bhagavad Gnanam, Sattva-guna is not doing that. Means Sattva-guna is not producing, Rajoguna will produce, then Tamoguna will produce. So obviously, they should not, they cannot produce. That is clear. Because Sattva-guna is not doing means Rajo and Tamoguna also cannot produce. But they can stop. So are they going to stop? But in the case of Vritarashtra, we have seen that. So they are not stopping. That means what? This Bhagavad Gnanam, whatever is coming, that is neither produced by the Sattva-guna or not stopped by the Rajas and Tamas. Means something is there, cause for this. So something is there, cause for this, which is producing this. So what is that something is producing? That is association. If some association cannot be Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, because it is producing the Nirguna. If something should be produced Nirguna, then how it can be Saguna? Saguna cannot produce. No, already we cleared. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas cannot produce. It's clear. It's overruled. That's why Bhagavad Sangha should be Sadhu Sangha. That means association of devotees should be what? Nirguna. Yes or no? Is there any doubt in this? No doubt. So association of devotees is Nirguna. That's what is the proof? Tolayama lavenapi. That's why they are glorifying. Why these Savanaka Rishis are glorifying this association? The reason is, it is Nirguna. It's so magnanimous. It's not simple Nirguna, it is Parama Nirguna. Parama Nirguna, because it is beyond the Brahman also. That association of devotees cannot be compared with the Brahman also, Brahma Sukham also. Na punarbhavam. Tulayama lavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam. From this we are clearly understanding. That means that's why they are glorifying na association. Otherwise they will, why they glorify? So this is the reason. This is Nirguna. Association of the devotees is Nirguna. And devotees are Nirguna or not? Association who is giving? Devotees are giving. That we are understanding from the Prahlad Maharaj's episode from the 7th canto. In the 7th canto, what Parikshit is asking, oh my dear Lord, why? So, oh my dear Sukadeva Goswami, why Lord is he is partial to the demigods? Then he said that he doesn't have any real krupa for them, but he is having the real krupa only to the Prahlad Maharaj. So, and that Prahlad Maharaj is because why he is having this? By seeing his Asarukula, that's why he is giving. Or by seeing he is belong to something? No. By seeing that he is devotee, he is giving. That means, so what is the qualification for getting the real mercy from the Lord? That is because he is beyond the modes. That's why he is getting the krupa. So by doing the sadhana bhakti, when you transform yourself, then you will be getting the special mercy of the Lord, and you will get the darshan and everything. Yes? Like that only it is coming? No, no. That means that means it is establishing that Prahlad Maharaj is Nirguna. By seeing any modes, Lord is giving. No, no. For devotees, he is not giving. Sorry, for the demigods, he is not giving. But then how he will give to the Asuras and this? But still he gave the Prahlad Maharaj means, oh, he took birth in Asura family, that's why I should give mercy. Is it like that? There we understood that he is not having any partiality for the gunas, based upon the gunas. That means, but still he is giving mercy means what it means? He is Nirguna. So from this we are understanding devotees also Nirguna. Okay. So when we get this devotion, so how it is? So you see, Tata bhaktehe api gunasanga nirdunantrancha anuvrittihi sriyate. This bhakti, what it is, if you have someone is in the modes and he is doing the bhakti, then this bhakti, what it is doing? It is destroying the modes. It is destroying the modes, and still it is existing. Because what is said here? They are taking up bhakti, being human beings, they are taking up the bhakti and they are cleaning all the gunas, and still they are doing the bhakti. Means after destruction of bhakti also, after destruction of modes also, it is existing. Means it is beyond modes. Means it is Nirguna or not? Huh? Yes or no? Bhakti is also nirguna. Because after destruction of modes, it is there, means how it can be the product of the modes. How can you say it is in the modes? Bhakti is in the modes. Yes, it is definitely. So it's nirguna. Because after destruction of all modes, it is existing. Okay, bhakti is also nirguna. The association is also, Bhagavad Gnanam is also, and devotees also nirguna. Okay, this is proved. Then after that, we are saying one important point. So Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna because it is giving the experience of the Bhagavan who is nirguna. If you say like this, there is a problem is coming. What is that problem? So then Kaivalya Gnanam is also cause for the experiencing of the impersonal Brahman, which is nirguna. Then Kaivalya Gnanam also should be, based upon that logic, should be nirguna, but it is not. So that's why this kind of interpreted logic we should not apply to prove the Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna, but Bhagavad Gnanam is nirguna by itself. Already Sloka is saying Kaivalyam Satvikam Gnanam Rajo Vaikalpikam tu yat Prakrutam Tamasam Gnanam Manishtam Nirgunam. Manishtam Gnanam Nirgunam. Okay. So Kashtakalpana, that means in this way you should not say. It's clear or not? All.
Little. So devotees are nirguna. Prahlad Maharaj said the example. So all the devotees are nirguna. So how we can say?
All devotees, yes, by engaging your body into devotional service, your body is becoming nirguna. Your body, senses, mind, heart, everything is becoming nirguna. As much as you do the sadhana, जितना आग में लगा के रखेंगे तो उतना लाल होगा, है या नहीं? जितना भक्ति करेंगे उतना होगा. If you are exposed to little bhakti, then there is a only little portion of the nirgunatva is manifesting in you. But nirgunatva is there. You should not say that. If anyone start bhakti, means nirgunatva will start manifesting. If you keep iron rod in the fire, then what will happen? Heat is catching or not? Started becoming lala, red or not? Red hotness. Yes, red hot. It is becoming red hot. But degree is less. If you are really complete red hot, then wherever you go, you can make devotees. Even demons will become devotees. Understand? That's the point. Okay, Pitambar Prabhu. You are not audible, Prabhu, your voice. I don't know.
Now?
It's coming now. Pranam, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Breaking is.
Yeah. Yes, now. Just like how to understand, person may be ignorance and person we discuss na. Bhakti is nirguna and not depend. Bhakti's manifestation is not depend on Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. That means one may be apparently in Tamoguna also, but he will bhakti just like Bratrasura and other things. Gave example. So how to understand, as well as we also discuss, as long as sinful desire is there, somebody, that means he is a mode of ignorance person, that is sinful, just like. So Bhakti Devi doesn't manifest. Sometimes we discuss like that, na? Yatha Hridaya Malino, that is example was that, the sloka was that. So how to understand, reconcile two things, because Bhakti is not dependent on passion, ignorance, and Bhakti is nirguna. So whether also it is said, if somebody completely free from Rajo Tamo Guna, Bhakti Devi manifest. Mame Vicharin Bhakti Yogan Sevte, Sagunan Samita Brahma Kalpate. So one place is said ki you have to free from completely Rajo Tamo Guna, then Bhakti Devi manifest. And some place Asura like they are in Tamoguna, but Bhakti Devi is still manifest.
So I try to understand your question, Prabhu. So you are asking one is in the modes, okay, and
Yes.
and so bhakti is manifesting after modes. You are saying like that, what, Prabhu?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
So after destruction of the modes, you are bhakti is manifesting. You are saying
It is manifesting.
yes.
And bhakti's manifestation, we discussed recently, now discuss this class, no? Bhakti not depend on passion, ignorance. Bhakti manifest, like example gave Rasur. Bhakti is not manifesting who are Satoguna, they may not also. So whether apparently they are in mode of ignorance, yeah, somebody may be beyond 3 modes, but maybe apparently we're seen like 3 guna, like that. It can be possible.
No, Prabhu. Actually, so what is the point? If someone heart is in the effect of rajas and tamas, that means
yes,
there is a rajas and tamas is acting on his heart. So when he start doing the devotion, so what is going to happen?
yes.
So this gradually becoming the the heart is becoming purely transcendental. That means beyond modes, becoming gradually only, Prabhu. So because anarthas should go one by one, and then it is becoming the transforming slowly. This we have seen in the devotee's case also. So like that, that's why we have stages of the bhakti. So gradually it will become, heart is gradually becoming. And but if there are no anarthas, even there is any number of ignorance is there, but anarthas are not there, or any kind of rajoguna is there, they are immediately destroyed, and he will become immediately devotee completely.
But
Bro, voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. It's not audible, your voice.
It will be interesting, like tamoguna is there and bhakti is there, because it is not dependent on tamoguna. So just like Vritrasur, example.
Okay, bro. I will take your question later.
Okay, no problem.
Voice is breaking. Your voice is not audible clearly.
Okay, thank you. Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
तथा कैवल्य ज्ञानस्यपि निर्गुण हेतुत्वात् अवैशिष्ट्येन उदाहरण भेद अप्रवृत्तिश्च. So that's why you cannot say. Then also udaharana, we need to give the, so we don't need to have the 2 different udaharanas. If kaivalya gnanam is also, that means if you say where we are now, we have come to this point actually. Bhagavad gnanam is nirguna because it is cause for the giving the experience of the Bhagavan who is nirguna. If you say like this, so this logic is not correct actually. This kind of interpretation is not correct. So in that case, what? Even Kaivalya Gnanam is also becoming the Nirguna. And then we don't need to have the 2 different examples. Here we have the 2 different examples. Then 2 different examples we cannot give. So, okay. So that is the point. Next, Tasma Swatha Eva Nirguna Bhagavad Gnanam. So from this we are understanding finally, Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna by itself only. It is nirguna. You cannot say that since being a hetu of the experiencing the Lord, that's why it is nirguna. If you say, there is a problem. Okay, but it is not like in the other's case. Don't go back and once again ask me the same thing. Already I explained. Okay, so next, atayeva satvikam sukam atmottam vishayottam tu rajasam tamasam mohadainyotam nirgunam madapashrayam ityatra tat sukasyapi nirgunatvam vakshate. So now Lord is Nirguna is clear. And Bhagavad Gnanam is Nirguna. Association of devotees is Nirguna. Devotees are Nirguna. And the bliss, whatever is coming by experiencing the Lord, that bliss is also Nirguna. That is we are going to discuss. So, Satvikam Sukham Uttitam Vishayottam tu Rajasam. From the Sattvaguna come, that means gives the Sukham actually. From the Sattvika. Satvikam Sukham Atmotham. Atmotham means if you, this is Atma, and by experiencing the Atma, whatever the Sukham we are getting, that is also Satvikam. That means Atmottam means I am not body, I am soul. So no, not this actually. I think 11, 25, 29. Something gadbad hai isme. Can in 11, 25? Huh? 29 glancing देखना है. आत्मोत्तम सुखम. आत्मोत्तम इति त्वं पदार्थ विषयत्वेन. So मदपाश्रयम् इत्यपि तत्पदार्थ विषयत्वेन सुखं ज्ञानवद् एव द्रष्टव्यम्. Okay, here Sridhar Swami is clarifying. So Atmotham means it's not the experiencing of the Atma. Atmottam, it is due to Atma, means Tvam padartha vishayatvena madapashrayam ityapi tat padartha vishayatvena. So here glossing is given here. So Satvikam Sukham Atmottam. Knowledge, sorry, bliss due to Atma, due to Atma being the Vishaya. Being the Vishaya means his object actually. Atma being the object. So here it means what? Here this bliss, this Sukham is Satvikam. This bliss is Satvikam. The bliss due to Atma. Due to Atma. That means you should understand like the knowledge related to Atma is, the knowledge related to Atma is what? Is in the Satvikam or not? Because of Sattvaguna only you are able to know. So similarly, the bliss, so by making Atma as object also is Satvikam. Here Sridhar Swami is writing is Satvikam. And Vishaya, yeah, that is anyway that Atvam Padardham. That means he said here, you can also open and see this Atmottam iti Tvam Padardha Vishayatvena. Gnanavadeva drashtavyam. That means Sukham Gnanavadeva. Like how this knowledge is Satvikam, like that also you should see Sukham also is Satvikam only. He is saying actually. So that's a Sridhar Swami statement is there. And next, a Vishaya means this worldly objects like these different eatables, this, that Sukham is what? Rajasam. So that means from the bewilderment, from the ignorance, whatever the Sukham is coming, that is Tamasam. And Madapashrayam. So Madapashrayam means, so that is Nirguna. Ityatra tat sukhasyapi nirgunatvam vakshate. That means by experiencing the Lord's, experiencing the Lord, that bliss is nirguna. Next, nanu madiya mahimanancha param brahmeti shabditam vetsyasya anugruhitam me samprashnair vivrutam hrudi iti Sri Matsyadevasya vachanena brahmagnanamapi Sri Bhagavat prasadottam sruyate tatkadam tasya sagunatvam. So now Purvapakshi is raising question. What is that? Brahmagnanam is what we understood. Brahmagnanam, I said that it is Satvikam. Yes or no? Brahmagnanam Sattva Sanjayate Gnanam. That means we are knowing about the Brahman because of Sattva Guna only. That's why Brahmagnanam is also Satvikam. We read or not previously? Yes? Huh? Brahmagnanam. Huh? ब्रह्मज्ञान सब कंफ्यूज, आप लोग कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं ना इस चैप्टर में, क्योंकि ये सभी टर्मिनोलॉजी सब छोटा छोटा दिमाग को परेशान कर रहा हूं मैं. This gnanam, that gnanam. No problem. Only problem for me. Bhakti is nirguna, that is. Purvapakshi is raising a question. Opponent. So what is the opponent's statement? They are bringing the statement of Matsya Bhagavan. 8:24-38. What is that? Madiyam mahimanam cha param brahmeti shabditam vetsyasya anugruhitam me samprashnair vivrutam hrudi. So this is the sloka. So Purvapakshi is quoting this sloka, and why you people are making noise? So by my mercy, you will realize my power, known as the impersonal Brahman, which will be disclosed in your heart through the question and answers. Madiyam mahimanam cha param brahmeti shabditam vetsyasya anugruhitam me samprashnahi vivrutam hrudi. So by my mercy, you will realize my power, known as impersonal Brahman. Madiyam mahimana means my power. Mahima means my power. So Lord is saying that, Matsya Bhagavan is saying, my power is Brahman. So Madiyam mahimanancha param brahmya sabdita vesyasi anugruhitam me. So you will know this by my mercy. You know this by my mercy. So here, which will be disclosed in your heart through questions. That means this will happen. By mercy, you will know Brahman through the question and answers. Through the questions and answers in your heart. So by my mercy, you are knowing the Brahman. Okay. So in that case, according to Matsya, Brahma Gnana arises by the mercy of the Lord. Okay. And now we are saying, that means you will know Brahman. What he is saying to the Matsya Bhagavan? Matsya Bhagavan is saying to Satyavrata, what he is saying? You will know Brahman by my mercy. By my mercy. That means you will know Brahman means you are getting the knowledge. That means what it is? Knowledge about the knowledge of Brahman or not? Knowledge of Brahman is coming from whom? By mercy. By mercy of Bhagavan. By mercy of Bhagavan. That means mercy of the Bhagavan is cause for the knowledge of the Brahman, and you are saying this is what? Satvikam. How Purupakshi caught you? Catching or not? Bhagavad Brahma Gnanam, you are saying Satvikam, and you are saying that Lord's mercy is cause for that Bhagavad Gnanam. Then how it is Satvikam? Lord's mercy is cause for the. Where is that? Achha. I got. Purupaksh's objection you understood or not? If it is by the, it is Brahma Gnana is coming due to the Bhagavan's mercy, then how it can be Saguna? Uchyate. Then you should answer this. Uchyate. You should answer this. What is that? Brahma Gnanam Dividhanam Jayate. Brahma Gnana, first of all, is happening to two different type of peoples. Brahma Gnanam is occurring for two different type of peoples. One is what? One for the devotees and another is Jnanis. Devotee and Jnani. Bhagavad Upasakanam Anushangikitena Brahmopasakanam Swatantrena. For in the, that means devotees, because they are worshipping the Lord. In that case, Brahma Gnanam is byproduct. Anushangika means byproduct. And Jnanis, they are worshipping Brahman directly. So they are worshipping directly, and the Brahma Gnanam is coming independently. Brahmopasakana Swatantrena. So here Brahma Gnanam is coming. In the case of devotees, Brahma Gnanam is coming by Brahma Gnanam is byproduct. In the case of Jnanis, Brahma Gnanam is independent. Brahma Gnanam is, is independent. Is independent here and here byproduct. So that means in the case of Jnanis, Brahma Gnana, how it is coming? So these Jnanis are coming to the platform of Sattva Guna, and being in that Sattva Guna, so they are coming to know about the Brahman. So that's why here in the case of Jnanis, it is Sattvikam. Okay. But in the case of the devotees, they want only the Bhakti, Bhagavat Prema. And by the mercy of the Lord, they are also able to know about the Brahman. Then in that case, that Brahma Gnanam is secondary, and it is not Sattvikam, but it is Nirguna. Because it is coming from the Lord's mercy. So that's why the Purupakshi statement is true in the case of Jnanis, not in the case of devotees. Understanding or not? Ram Sharan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay, two types of Brahmagnana is there. So now and here Bhagavad Upasakaistu Bhagavad Sikti Rupaya Bhaktya Kinchit Vedeneva Grihyate. So in the case of the devotees, Bhagavad Sikti Rupaya Bhaktya Kinchit Vedeneva Grihyate. The worshippers of the Lord accept it somewhat differently. So, because of the bhakti component, which is the Lord's Shakti. So, their Lord's mercy is cause, and they did bhakti, and that's why they got the mercy. And due to that mercy, they are able to know about the Brahman as it is a byproduct actually in that case. So that's why it is different. That is different from the in routine case. Tacha Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati na Kankshati. Next, Atma Ramascha Munayoho. So here we are seeing that. What we are seeing in these two slokas? Tacha. So Brahma Bhuta na Kankshati ityadi Gitoktyanusarena Atma Ramascha Munayoho ityadyanusarena cha Bhagavataha Parakya Bhakti Parikaraha Bhavati iti Brahmosapasakaistu Purvavad Abhedeneva so Gruhyate Tat Falasya Natyantikam Vignayanti so Te Prasadam Ityukta Disha so Paraihi Atyantikattvena Matsyasyapi Parama Vidvadbiri Vid Anadrutatva Tatha so Bhakti Viruddhatvena Swargapavarga Narakeshwapi Tulyadarshana Ityuktya Narakavad Apavargasyapi Heyatvat Prasada Bhasa Eva Asau. Now the point is here, so we should understand this Brahmagnanam. In the case of the devotees, Brahmagnanam is just an assistant. He is just an assistant of Bhakti. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati Nakangshati. After that, Madbhaktim Labate. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Nasochati Nakangshati. So, Madbhaktena Labate Param. What is that sloka? I forgot. Samasarveshu Bhuteshu. Samasarveshu Bhusu Madbhakshe Madbhaktim Labate Param Gatim. So here, if you see this sloka, so from this sloka, what we are under Ityadi Gitoktyanusarena and also Atma Ramascha Munayaha Ityadyanusarana. So by these two slokas, it is also 7, 1, 7, 10. There you see, they are Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. That means he is knowing about the Brahman. Then after that, so being Saram Sarveshu Bhuteshu, and then after that he is becoming the devotee. Atma Ramascha Manayoho, in this also, he is initially knower of the Brahman, and then after that he is becoming the devotee. So that means here Brahmagnanam is what? Is just becoming the assistant. Yes or no? It's just becoming the assistant of the Bhakti. So it is becoming the assistant of the bhakti. But in the case of the Brahmopasakas, Brahmosava, but Puravad Abhedeneva Gruhyate. Tat Falasya. In the case of devotees, they are also, this Brahmagnanam is becoming the assistant to Bhakti, Parabhakti. And in the case of Jnanis, it is this Brahmagnanam is becoming the is the cause for the getting Brahman. Brahmagnanam is cause for getting Brahman. That means they are not seeing the difference between the themselves and the Brahman. This Brahmagnanam is helping to get the Kaivalyam. That means Sahyujam. Here Brahmagnanam is becoming the assistant. In the case of devotee, is becoming the assistant to the Bhakti. Okay, this difference is there, and this is condemned. This Brahmagnanam, whatever is there in the case of Jnanis, that is giving the Sahyujam, and that is condemned or not? Snatyantikam viganayanti, natyantikam viganayanti te. Kumaras are saying, yes or no? Brahmagnanam is having the two kinds of results. In this case, Brahmagnanam is becoming the assistant and it is leading to Bhakti, ultimate Bhakti. Here Brahmagnanam is having the result of the giving the Brahman. Okay? And that is cause for the Sahyuja Mukti. Two different results. So that's why in the case of the devotees, whatever Brahmagnanam is said, that is just a bit different than the Brahmagnana here, what we are seeing in the case of Jnanis. That is becoming the cause for the Bhakti, and this is becoming the cause for the Sahyuja Mukti, and which is rejected by everyone. And this Brahmagnanam is because of the mercy of the Lord, and so that they are becoming the devotees. And here, this Brahmagnanam is because of the Sattva-guna, and that's why they are becoming the oneness, getting the oneness with the Brahman. Radharani Mataji, getting out. Huh?
I will listen one more time, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. अक्षय हरि प्रभु, कुछ समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं?
Yes, so part of that, the Brahma Gyan received by the devotee is by the mercy of the Lord, and but the person yogi, what he gets is a product of Sattva.
Not yogi, gnani, yaar, kahan se yogi?
Jnani.
Tell.
That is a product of Sattva-guna.
And what is the result of that?
Sahyuja Mukti, Samukti.
And what is the result of this?
That is a
result of the mercy of the devotee, mercy of the Lord, whatever is come. That is what is the result? That is
Bhakti.
Bhakti. Ram Sharan Prabhu, tell me.
So in the first case, Prabhu, the devotee's case, like we are saying, so this Brahmagyan is not the cause of bhakti, right? It is the mercy of the Lord that is the cause of bhakti, right? Like we are just saying, like, so Brahmagyan is
cause for the Brahmagnanam, and that is becoming the assistant. That is becoming assistant to bhakti.
But we discussed that bhakti is independent. Bhakti don't need any support from anything like so.
Yes. Bhakti is no need, but bhakti can, someone can become the voluntary assistant for it. It will not mind.
Okay.
Like there's a Gnana, Karma also sometimes they become assistants to the bhakti. Like in the Karma Mr. Bhakti, Gnana Mr. Bhakti, they are becoming the assistants to her. Like that here, Brahmagnanam is becoming the assistant to bhakti. So that the devotee is immediately coming to the Bhagavan realization. Is fully situated in the Bhagavan. So there Brahmagnanam is helping the devotee to become situated in the more and more deeply bhakti. So that's why there it is become assistant.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. ओके, रहने दीजिए इतना, जा ही नहीं रहे क्लास एकदम। हरे कृष्णा।